game number 2 is getting underway right now, though. We're going to see if they've made any changes to their decks. RDU got to feel good up a game over one of the world's best players.
Yeah, he's in the must-win all my matches territory right here, and still probably needs a little bit of help as well.
Yeah, Zalae, Hunter versus Handlock. Excellent matchup for this Hunter deck, but the opening hand, it's got to ship the whole thing back.
Yeah, we talked about this in the setup. This is a pretty good one, and Zalae is the one with the rough opener this time, and his first draw, not a great one either.
Yeah, RDU, he has Mortal Coil in his deck, 2 Dark Bombs. That's going to help him buy a lot of time. Big Game Hunter, not going to be a big use this game. But the big deal for me here is that Zalae has got a Hunter's Mark to start fighting through these later game minions.
Yeah, great pickup here for Knife Juggler as well. He was just going to be able to hero power here on this turn. That was going to be something he doesn't want to do.
Dark Bomb going to make swift work of this Knife Juggler. And Freezing Trap gets drawn. Gosh, this is a tough one. You know, his curve continues to look like it's going to be more and more difficult, but this is a situation where I don't think he minds playing the Freezing Trap and letting RDU try to play into this one. Say he plays Big Game Hunter in this spot. You know, that Freezing Trap suddenly, it's buying him a little bit of time because RDU's not able to life tap instead, and obviously wants to be picking up extra cards. He's going to go for Twilight Drake right off the bat.
You know, does RDU think it's something like Snake Trap with the way that this game is played out? You know, like, would Zalae just not play Freezing Trap here? Or is he trying to set up something where, you know, he has the Sludge Belcher. This is something we see from Zalae quite a bit.
Yeah, it was in his opening hand, had to pitch it away. You know, I think RDU's kind of playing the long game here. I think he's looking to Defender of Argus this and then try to turn this Freezing Trap into a liability.
Yeah, to pick up the Defender of Argus again. Yep. Yeah, that's any of the decks that can turn Freezing Trap into liability, I'm a big fan of. Anytime you can return something like Antique Healbot or Defender of Argus, love those plays when you get to use it against them.
This is why Hunter's Mark is in here, is to punish these kinds of board states.
There's a snipe.
Yeah, Unleash the Hounds is like 1,000% getting used this turn. If Zalae does not use Unleash the Hounds and Hunter's Mark in this spot, I will be shocked. He gets to take out a Twilight Drake, he gets to take care of Defender of Argus, keep his Freezing Trap around, and set a snipe on the board. Like, what more could you possibly be asking for?
Yeah, I 100% agree with you. He just takes his time.
Yeah, gonna consider everything as well. But this one, this is one of the most clean-cut turns I've ever seen.
Yep. Now, if you're RDU and you see the second trap from here too.
Well, you're not assuming it's snipe, but if he's paid close attention to the way Archon games go, maybe he can assume it's snipe.
Well, the thing is snipe, you know, it's just okay against some of the things that, you know, RDU is going to be doing here. You know, if he plays an 8/8 and gets sniped, like, there's an Illidan.
Illidan, I mean, that signals there's Void Caller in this deck. Yeah. That's really the big tell here.
This is the demon-centric one, yeah.
Blood Mage actually is a pretty darn good drop for Zalae. And RDU, that Freezing Trap is going to be a major liability for him, especially when you couple that with the snipe that's already in play. Zalae has 2 proactive traps set into play right now, and he's got advantage on board.
Yeah, unbelievable stuff from Zalae here. You know, just abysmal opening hand. Now he's in a pretty good spot. Both these players, they're kind of trading that off from each other. Yeah. Good play here from RDU, though. This Emperor is going to alleviate a lot of the stress in his hand.
Well, you know, Snipe is going to deal 5 damage to that because of that Blood Mage.
Yep.
I mean, this has been a significant Blood Mage.
Look at the giggle coming on Zalae's face.
I mean, how often do you get a spell power minion off your Pilot Shredder where you get to snipe a minion that's +1 because of the spell power drop?
Yeah, you can see it from Zalae too. He even apologized as well because, you know, how often does that happen?
This is Lotheb, and this game is all but over at this point. I don't know if there's any way RDU can climb back into this one.
Yeah, this is going to be a hard one to get back into.
This deck is so well beat, or so well made to beat mid-range strategies. I mean, RDU had no shot in this one.
Yeah, he can anti-Healbot up to 21 again here. You know, Zalae might just ignore it. He might use his Eagle Horn bow to take care of it so it doesn't get freezing
20 points of
traps.
damage.
Yeah.
11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. I'm sorry, 18 points of damage.
Yeah, he's got a couple options here, but you might see something like Eagle Horn bow on the antique Healbot just to make sure the freezing trap doesn't return it to his hand. But even then, like, is it a bad thing? He's going to be spending his whole turn replaying the antique Healbot.
That's the big question for me is, do you even care that he's doing this? I think step 1 is draw the card.
Yeah. See if you can find the lethal.
Kill command would have been 11, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Yeah, that would have been lethal.
Yeah, I was going to say kill command was lethal if you
clearly
did
what
it
he's
there.
digging for.
Love the way Zalae plays the game.
And take your chances when you have them. Something we don't see a lot of players do. A lot of players like to avoid taking chances. Zalae seems to be taking them more often than other players.
Yeah, he actively is seeking to, you know, blow you out to get that exactly good draw. Because how much does he really lose by losing his Blood Mage Thalamus there? Like, you know, he loses 1 point of damage, so what? the odds of him getting an insanely good card there to make sure this game is unreachable for RDU is worth losing the 1 minion, because he's going to be adding a Sludge Belcher to his board.
It also mindful to keep RDU at 16 to deliberately play around Molten Giants. The scenario he loses is double Molten Giant now.
This is a deliberate no attack from Zalae, but he doesn't know this is the demon-centric version.
Yeah, which doesn't mean there's no Molten Giants, but it certainly gives RDU time to fortify this board position. But Zalae's still in pretty darn good shape to take advantage of this. Oh, Nelly.
This board just got gigantic.
This isn't even a matter of whether or not he can handle the Mountain Giant. It's just how he wants to handle the Mountain Giant.
Does he want to, attack into it and then Knife Juggler plus Dr. Boom, maybe try to get lucky here, some of the knife juggles, but, he's gonna map out this turn. This is actually a little difficult.
Yep. So mapping out his turn is,
well, I mean, because
it's something he does every single time, but this is a difficult one to do.
Yeah, because he has Knife Juggler plus Savannah High Main plus Dr. Boom, so he has to make sure that his attacks are all correct with enough room to get everything in play.
Yeah. And also just the outcomes, thinking about where all these knives fit and when they hit certain minions and maybe in the unexpected ways that you were accounting for, how does that change the way you're going to play?
Yeah, this turn's actually pretty difficult about setting everything correctly, because if you're going to run your Savannah High Main in, you want to get the Knife Juggler in play if it was going to die.
I wonder how many different lines of play there actually are right now.
He's going to get aggressive. He's going to take 8 to the face here.
Yeah, doesn't mind it though. This isn't a deck that's going to put a lot of pressure in life. Totally sitting behind a taunt anyway.
This is going to be another no attack.
This is the big one for me, is that I still think that the way he loses this game is by giving RDU significant Molten Giant turns. And when he doesn't attack here, RDU doesn't have access to Molten Giant Shadow Flame.
Yeah, and actually RDU doesn't have access to, anything right this second that's going to help him. That Healbot is going to put him back up to 22, but...
Well, this is going to gain 7 in the process, in the same way.
Yeah.
So, not surprised to see that. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 points of damage available for Zalae, so more than enough to close this one out. Easy matchup for him. It was just a matter of getting threats on board until he had critical mass. RDU, no way to fight back against this. 5-point snipe on the Emperor Thorson, thanks to a piloted Shredder drop.
That was so awesome to see. These snipes, we've only seen them a few times this season, all from Zalae, all from Purple, but they have been unbelievably backbreaking when they've happened. And then the Blood Mage Thanos coming out of the piloted Shredder, what more could you ask for? That was just cool to see.